Are you ready to turn your potential into performance? If so, you're in the right place. This is the Coach Bru Show, and here's your host, John Brubaker.
Welcome to the Performance Report, episode number 505. It's a different kind of silent night. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/coachbrew. There's over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Go to audibletrial.com/coachbrew. It's a different kind of silent night in tiny little Upland, Indiana, where for 21 straight years, on the Friday night before final exams in December, Taylor University basketball hosts what they call their Silent Night game. It's a very different kind of silent night. Now, before we get into the story, understand this. Taylor University isn't exactly big-time NCAA basketball like Duke or Kansas. They aren't even in the NCAA. Taylor's an NAIA school of less than 2,000 students. But they've made themselves stadium status by doing it different. You don't have to be the number one brand in your industry or be performing in the biggest stadium at the highest level of your profession to be stadium status. You just have to do it different. Be different or be invisible, as I like to say. So, in today's episode, there's a stadium status strategy you can use to gain a competitive advantage. It's a crazy little concept called community. Perhaps you've heard of it? Taylor University definitely gets it. What they do is rooted in tradition. It's downright weird, and it's hilarious. You see, every fan in their jam-packed, sold-out, standing room-only gym remains silent until the team scores its 10th point. You heard that correctly, 10th point. Then the place explodes with cheering and fans dressed in all sorts of random costumes like Secret Service agents, Legos, biblical characters, hula dancers, and penguins. And they rush the court to celebrate the 10th point. Weird, right? That's kind of the whole point. Every other school has fans who rush the court to celebrate a win at the end of the game. Be different or be invisible, right? Then at the end of their game, all the fans lock arms, sway back and forth, and sing Silent Night together. Now, this wasn't a university orchestrated publicity stunt. Nobody really knows exactly how it started, and in 1997, the students themselves came up with the idea to remain silent until the 10th point, as well as dress in costumes. Before that, they all just wore pajamas to the game. It grew organically via its fan base, as all great things do. And in the process, this tiny school created what is now one of the greatest traditions in all of college sports. The fact that the fans rush the court at the strangest time, then break out in song, makes for a great distraction with the opponent, if you think about it. They know it's coming, and there's not a darn thing they can do about it. I'm sure most schools that size wish their student body had that kind of spirit and community. Last year, one fan, dressed as Papa Smurf, proposed to his girlfriend, who was dressed as an Army Ranger, at mid-court, while the campus radio station provided the play-by-play, not just of the game, but also of the proposal. Can you imagine the conversation with their children years from now? Mommy, how did Daddy propose to you? So, after the game, the university hosts a campus-wide Christmas party where students compete in like gingerbread house making, Christmas cookie making, and just different contests like that. And they also listen to the president of the college read the Christmas story. They also get to witness children from the Upland, Indiana community tell Santa what they want for Christmas. Now, here's what I want you to do, folks. I want you to take out, from what you just heard, I want you to take out the word students in your mind and replace it with employees. Your company's in that same story. Little food for thought, 4 questions for you here. Do you have a weird tradition that's a competitive advantage for you and helps shape your culture? If not, it's way past time you figure that out. Do you engage your entire organization from top to bottom, like Taylor University does? Disclaimer, engage them in something they actually want to participate in. Do you eat together, compete together, and celebrate together as a team? And how are you including the community that exists outside the walls of your organization? Now, this is precisely what I help organizations and teams do. Find their mojo and engage their tribe. Here's the thing. This won't be for everybody, and the public will judge you. Just like people are judging Taylor University, saying what they're doing is weird, crazy, it doesn't make sense. That's okay. You know, the way I see it, like a third of the people love you, a third of the people hate you, and another third won't even know you exist, or at least they won't even care. So those who get it will get it. Those who don't, won't. Those who choose to be offended will be offended. You can't control that any more than you can control the weather. Heck, somebody listening to this right now is probably offended that I use the word Christmas. Be fun, be weird, and most of all, be yourself. When you do, you deepen relationships. Your team members have greater appreciation for you and for one another. Now back to Taylor University. It's standing room only crowd every year on Silent Night, and they have never lost a game on Silent Night. It's an undefeated 21-0 record. Now that's an impressive streak by anyone's standards. Wouldn't you love to create that kind of competitive advantage and community for your team? It's created brand awareness, reach, web traffic, visibility, media impressions, social media growth, and it goes beyond fan engagement. Darn near the whole student body is engaged because they can be themselves that night. They can paint themselves into the picture and help paint the picture there, so to speak. I bet in an indirect way, it's even helped build their enrollment at the college. Silent Night's been featured everywhere from USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Sports Illustrated, ESPN, CBS, Fox. It's even become a trending Snapchat live story last year. That's crazy, isn't it? And here's the takeaway, though. Not all wins take place on the court or on the field or whatever the arena is you, quote, play in. And the big reason for this grand event they call Silent Night isn't to get media attention. Silent Night is actually a loud message to remind the world that goodwill towards one another is still important. Ultimately, it's about community in its purest form. Isn't everything? With that in mind, you're not part of my podcast listenership or a, quote, subscriber, just a subscriber. You are a living, breathing human in my community. And I want to thank all of you who helped contribute to the Coach Cares Toys for Tots drive this Christmas. On Friday, we hosted a Christmas party where many of you brought toys and monetary donations for families who can't afford Christmas presents. Thanks to you and several matching gift sponsors, together we're responsible for almost 900 children receiving Christmas presents this year. I love you all very much. Merry Christmas, and I look forward to helping you make the year 2018 your best year ever. Thanks for listening to the Coach Brew Podcast, Happy holidays.
Thanks for listening to The Coach Brew Show. If you're not currently subscribed to the podcast, sign up now on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. And for more information to turn your potential into performance, head on over to coachbrew.com now.